Last time on DragonBall Z.
Some guy with a bucket on his head. If you die now for not eating your lunch, it is definitely your fault. Me? Beat in the tournament? Oh, Gohan, what have you got yourself into? Hey guys, Saxdude26 here, and welcome back to Let's Play Legacy of Goku 3, Boo's Fury. Last time, Videl worked out who we are, but she didn't seem particularly vindictive. If anything, she seems more excited. We have agreed to compete in the World Martial Arts Tournament alongside her, as a spiritual succession to both her father being the previous champ and Goku winning the one before that. Destiny, I guess? Hard to say. I mean, Gohan's been wanting a normal life, but all he's really been doing since going to school is fighting, so I don't know, I guess it was kind of inevitable at this point. So, hang on! Contact from Goku? This is big! Dad, is that you? Yep, guess what? I'm going to be allowed to come back to Earth for one day. You kidding? Seems I've got some credits saved up and they're letting me come back to fight in the World Martial Arts Tournament. Ooh, this is big! No way, this is great! Be sure to let everyone know I'm coming back. Krillin, Master Roshi, they're gonna want to know, and so will Bulma and Vegeta. Don't forget Piccolo. Oh man, make sure you tell your mom and Goten they're coming back. They're all gonna want to hear it. Yeah, mom's gonna freak out, and Goten is gonna be so happy. He's never met you. This is so, this is such a wholesome moment, I love it. It's great to hear your voice again, Gohan. I can't wait to see everyone again. I'll see you at the World Tournament. Now remember, bye Dad, you sure are full of surprises. Tell your family and friends that Goku is returning. So remember, at this point, Goku has been training in Otherworld time, which is going far less linearly to what we've been dealing with. The dots on the map there, those are our essential locations to go to. The star is the mandatory one. In other words, we already knew we had to tell our mum that we were going to be in the World Martial Arts Tournament. Now we definitely need to tell her about Goku as well. In fact, I'm curious. I was curious if I could go to Korin's Tower, because from memory, they've changed the layout a little bit. Kami's lookout. No, technically it's Dende's lookout. I mean, unless we're talking the pecking order. Then it would be Popo's lookout. Hey, Popo. Hello, Gohan. It's good to see you again.
Pecking order.
What about you, Dende? You want to come? I would go to the tournament, but fighting isn't really my thing. I'm more into healing people. That's true. Dragon Clan. If Goku is entering the tournament, it should be a tournament to remember. I'll enter. Sounds like a lot of fun. But please tell me you're not going to wear that Saiyaman outfit to the tournament. It looks ridiculous. Come on, Piccolo. Such a stick in the mud. Golly, his health is high. He's done some training since Legacy of Goku 2, that's for sure. Now, can I go and talk to Korin? No. Why no flight charge? Why no flight circle? I want to go see Korin. I want to tell him the good news. Really? You're not gonna let... That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Come off it. Now, I feel like there may have been a Z-Fighter exhibit. There we go! I knew there was one hidden here. It is very easy to miss. But yeah, Kami's lookout, Dende's lookout, the lookout is not looking too different to how it used to, but there is one really neat thing I do like. Korin's Tower and Kami's lookout were actually connected by Goku's power pole, and where that actually joins up, I originally thought was this room behind Kami's throne. And in actuality, either this room is the pendulum room where Popo trained the Z-Fighters, or this is where the Dark Crystal imprisoning Garlic Jr.'s father was kept by Kami. Which is really cool, as I found out. It makes me really happy. I love it. I love it. Some cool knowledge. Okay, next place we should go is West City, because we probably want to let Vegeta know, definitely, and you're gonna see a real nice twist of fate here of an older Gohan with a younger Trunks, but with an age gap we haven't seen before, which is pretty cool. I wonder if Mrs. Briefs is excited to know. Isn't it a beautiful day, Gohan? Ah, bless you, Mrs. Briefs. You're completely, blissfully unaware of what's going on. Alrighty, let's let him know. Let's let him know. Hey, Trunks. Cool. So we got Vegeta. We can scan him. Ooh. No one tell Vegeta that Piccolo's HP is higher than his. bit embarrassing. But, yeah, so, let's let Bulma know. Is Goku coming back? That's great. Too bad he couldn't come back permanently, but I mean, a day is a day. We'll take it. Your dad's gonna come back to fight in the World Tournament? That's so cool! Yeah, Gohan and Trunks still have a really good relationship in this timeline as well. If Kakarot is going to come back to fight in the World Tournament, I'm entering too. Finally, I'll have another chance to defeat him. Yeah, well, the one thing that's making me, quite unnerved at the prospect of this is, people not holding back and energy blasts going all over the place and blowing things to smithereens and everyone turning Super Saiyan. And I was just trying to hide my identity as the Gold Fighter. You really gonna do this to me again? You really gonna do this to me again, Vegeta? Oh yeah, we should go see Pilaf. We should go let Pilaf know. Oh, it's so tempting. So tempting. Ooh! Bit of a music change around here. Hippin' and happening. I dig it. Pretty neat. Ah, I should probably save now that I've visited a couple of people though. So let's let Master Roshi know for starters. Well, wonders ever cease, hey? Maybe I should enter the tournament too. What do you think? Actually, maybe that might not be a good idea. I mean, to be fair, before Goku won, and before Goku won, you did win. Is this canon? But that's neither here nor there. Ah, and of course, a couple of other people are saying here too. Krillin's let his hair grow out because he's been more of a family man. What? No way, Goku's going to compete. I don't believe it, but I don't want to compete. That's why I let my hair grow back. I'm a family man now. Yeah, Krillin settled down, so he's unsure of whether he wants to compete. There's a lot of prize money involved in this competition, isn't there? I think I'm going to enter. I'm going to make Krillin enter too. We need the money. So yeah. They want to move out and have a house of their own, and Krillin and Android 18, since she had the bombs removed from her, that means she's technically human again. And they had a little daughter, Marin. If Mommy and Daddy fight in the tournament, I want to watch them. How sweet is this? This is awesome. I got rid of Krillin's own count, right? I'm pretty sure I did. If I haven't, I'm doing it right here. Cool? We cool? We cool. Awesome. But there is one person I'm noticing who is absent. And, that's Turtle. I've watched Finding Nemo and I know that sea turtles can live to be over 150, but I'm very worried at the absence of Turtle here, and it's a little heartbreaking. So let's cheer ourselves up by going fishing. Yeah, you remember those fish that we were collecting in the forest from birds and enemies near water? Now you fish by jumping into lakes, which is pretty cool. Basically, you can get small fish, big fish, rare fish, and sometimes items and equipment. But, yeah, I just want to do 2 more to see how we go and go from there. You can get certain equipment that makes it a little bit easier. Especially not doing this with equipment is going to make it harder. So, yeah. Come on, Gohan. You got this. You got this. You can do it. There we go. That's looking far more surprising. Actually, I feel like there's a special item I can get from this one. I'm going to try a little bit longer. Bear with me. Ah, that adds insult to injury. Well, on that note, I'm just gonna stop. Yeah, once you get an old shoe, that's it for me. That's my point of saying absolutely not. Absolutely not. But yeah, no, I could have sworn that there was a special item I could get from fishing there, but if there is, I'm gonna come back with the equipment for it later because my chances are obviously not too great at the moment. Let's go back to West City and take back the Z Fighter exhibit. And while I'm here, I have a present for you. Yes, I did find another exhibit. There are 12 exhibits missing. Yep, and guess what? I'm holding onto this Hercule exhibit until I find another one because... yeah. No thank you. And of course, we left the most important news for last. I come bearing very good news, Mom. Oh my goodness, I can hardly know what to think your father is really coming home. You get to meet your my God, so sickly sweet. By the way, since Dad's competing in the World Tournament, I can compete as well? I'd like your permission to enter the World Tournament and to miss some school so I can train. Are you serious? You have got to be kidding. You know that your studies take priority over everything else. I mean, have you seen his idol animation? But Mom, Dad's only going to be here for a day. I'll never get this chance again. And the winner gets paid 10 million zenny. 10 million zenny? Holy cow, you could get a PhD with those kinds of bucks. My son, the foremost authority on doctors.
And so it was that Dr. Light, Dr. Wily's former colleague and the foremost authority on doctors, I've done it again.
I mean, Brief's prize for achievement in science. Gohan, what's Dad like? A bit forgetful, a bit of a klutz, but he's got a really big heart. That's my answer. He's an amazing man. When you meet him, you just feel happy inside. To be fair, going back through these games, I have felt that. I can't wait to meet him. Hey Gohan. Yeah, Goten? Can I help you train? Sure, I'm gonna need a real strong training partner, and you'll be perfect. Oh, it's too cute, I can't take it. Meanwhile, in the other world,
Oh! Baba, this is quite unusual. This is not every day that someone is allowed to return to the world of the living.
I've already discussed this with the Grand Kai and he approves. Seriously, Gamma, if anyone deserves this, it's Goku.
was about to say Olibu, but to be fair, Olibu's not dead because he doesn't have a halo. So, she's not wrong. She's not wrong. A lot of the other world fighters don't have halos, actually. Point being, if anyone deserves it, it's Goku.
Very well. Goku, you are aware of the conditions?
Conditions?
Yes, Goku. You will only get 24 hours to stay in the living world. That's all I can do.
Oh, I see, but 24 hours is still better than nothing. He's not wrong.
Very well. Looks like all the paperwork is in order. You're free to go.
Thanks, King Yemma. And yeah, Baba acts as the midway point between King Yemma and the spirit world. So, yeah, Baba, as Master Roshi's sister, can travel to the other world free of charge. Pretty cool beans. Ooh, love the Grand Kai Rock. Tank boy! Tank boy! I said tank boy! Ouch, what are you yelling at me for? Listen, Pally, what do you think you're doing? This is the machine that cleanses the souls of the condemned to HFIL. This isn't a game. Next time I catch you goofing off like this, I'm gonna report you to King Yemma. He'll probably dock your pay or worse. Dock my pay, but my pay is already pathetic as it is. Sheesh. More pay for casual workers. I don't know. Then you better shape up, tough guy. Look at these tanks. They're filthy. I don't know what his problem is. I do my job just fine. And that is an earthquake, and that is not good. Oh boy. Wow, King Yemma's gonna break a mug at this rate. What was that? It sounded like the soul cleansing machine exploded. I can't even talk straight. You're kidding me. I heard the explosion. What is going on here? It was a soul cleansing machine. It is a machine that cleanses the evil spirits before they are sent to HFIL. I hate to imagine what would have been let loose. This could have terrible repercussions for both the other world and the world of the living. Pycon, will you go check for me? Of course, sir. I'll take care of it right away. I mean, the guy beat up Cell and Frieza and was a decent match for Goku. Who better to send? I hope you will, for all our sakes. While it would be fitting to end the episode here, it has been way too short an episode to end it on a chapter cliffhanger. And I am not blowing the 2 title cards in a row joke on chapter 3. It's gonna happen, but not for chapter 3. Thanks for letting me train with you, Gohan. I promise I won't get in your way. You gotta love the dynamic between these two brothers. It's incredibly endearing and really sweet, and I do love it. I bet I can beat you there. Also, Goten is just a bundle of energy, and I feel this compulsion to protect him. It's just, I like Goten. He's, like, he legitimately is the bundle of energy that Gohan wasn't because he was just curious. But curious in a I want to punch everything and see what happens kind of way. And that music when we go into the forest. Anyone who is an avid fan of the anime will recognize this tune almost immediately. This is the tune known as Gohan Angers, and in the Funimation dub of the anime, this is the theme that plays when Gohan transforms into Super Saiyan 2. It is quite possibly the most iconic Bruce Faulconer Dragon Ball Z track in existence. And the rendition, the arrangement that is in Boo's Fury, it is amazing. Because, like, the track is so short-lived in the anime, but it keeps going. It doesn't need those harsh guitars of the Faulconer version from the anime. It still works, just with the plinking piano and those synths in the background. It just works so well. I love it. It's such a good track, and I feel like we're being spoiled having it given to us so early in the game. It's amazing. But yeah, right up from here is where the level 65 barrier is, where Goten is waiting. But what I'm instead gonna do is do what I normally do when I play this game myself. Also gonna let the critical hit knock the enemy all the way to the opposite end of this room. Yeah, what I normally do when I go through on my own playthroughs is I train in the Eastern Forest before I even send Gohan to school. Unfortunately, because Gohan's already had such a rough day of school, I didn't feel like that would be fair to him, so we're doing it afterwards, because we've been training against, you know, ruffians in the city, as opposed to right outside of our house. I should probably be putting these points into endurance, but we'll get to it later. But yeah, Gohan's had a rough day when you think about it. Ruffians, henchmen of the Warlord, have been rampant in Hercule City, and now they're even here outside of his house, in the forest. Albeit in a redesigned forest, but nevertheless, a much bigger forest, and they're everywhere. It's ridiculous. So yeah, to the right here is Gohan's little 140 barrier. And what's behind it is pretty important and does tie into the redesigned layout of East District 439 to be closer to how it is in the manga. But we won't be getting to that for quite a long time, because again, we're only level 65 at the moment. We will be coming back to it, and I do feel that what is behind that gate is very fitting and very much worth the level grind, which is quite awesome. And actually, now that we're here in the forest training, this is actually where the game does start to differ a little bit from the source material. At this point, Gohan wouldn't be out training in his school uniform, which, you know, I mean, to be fair, why, Gohan? I can't pretend to understand. But he would actually be wearing a blue and red version of Goku's training gi that appears only during this current training arc, and also in one of the Broly movies that actually comes into relevancy during the plot of this game, which is pretty cool. I like the fact that yet again for Boo's Fury, they're tying in the movies, and it really does bring everything together. To be fair, it's not the first time that Gohan has been wearing a typical gi when he's been training or fighting, because again, the one movie that takes place between games 2 and 3 is the BoJack movie. And during that, for the brief period of time that Gohan is still fighting and training, he is actually wearing his own version of Goku's gi, which, again, in this entire game series, we haven't seen him wearing up to this point, and he had previously only worn once when he initially was training with Piccolo, before Piccolo gave him a gi like his. Now, end of this track is a reflective tunic. I'm actually going to equip that because I remember it being kind of important. Made of reflective material resistant to energy attacks, so it increases our endurance, especially against power attacks, which is pretty good, and like a lot more enemies are going to be using very specific projectile attacks, so it is a very good thing to have. Now before we do go and visit Goten, there was one other thing that I wanted to check, and specifically, I know it comes up later on. Oh, more milk for what I used earlier. I believe later in the game, there is a hint to check something behind this tree. What could be behind this mysterious blue-fruited tree? Find out on the next exciting episode of Dragon Ball Z!